In the course of delivering his assessment on Paul McCartney's world tour, Ringo Starr offered his thoughts on the lasting appeal of the Beatles. The Beatles have been apart for more than half a century, yet Ringo, who is 84 years old, and Paul, who is 82 years old, continue to be excellent friends. Over the course of the past few months, Paul has performed a number of performances in a variety of places around Central and South America. He is presently in the middle of a run of 3 gigs in Mexico City, which is part of his Got Back tour, which is moving around the world. Following the arrival of the tour in Europe the following month, it will perform 2 nights at Co-op Live in Manchester and 2 nights at the O2 in London. Ringo discussed the band's perpetual appeal in an interview with Vice that was released earlier this week. He made reference to Paul's tour, which was completely sold out, as an example of this. "I think it's great," the iconic drummer stated in response to a question about the generations of Beatles fans who were born after the band broken up. The Beatles are a favourite with young people, as evidenced by the fact that they were among the first new-coming performers and bands to emerge during the 1970s. Every new generation brings in a new audience. They continue to play us on the radio, and our music continues to pique the interest of young people and musicians. How wonderful is that? Beatles are 64 is the title of the documentary that he referenced, and it is scheduled to be made available on Disney Plus on November 29th. Following their appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show, the band's first trip to the United States and the subsequent expansion of Beatlemania will be the primary focus of the film, which will be produced by Martin Scorsese. In recent years, a number of high-profile documentaries about the Beatles have been made. These include Get Back by Peter Jackson, 8 Days a Week, The Touring Years by Ron Howard, and George Harrison, Living in the Material World by Martin Scorsese. All of these movies have been released in theatres since the year 2010. As he discussed the continued interest that audiences have in the work that he and Paul have done, Ringo maintained his modesty. It was mentioned by him that "we did it, and now it's still going on." At this very moment, Paul is performing in South America, where he is performing to an audience of 50 to 60,000 people each night. "Even though we are simply musicians, it is so wonderful that I am still doing my thing." It has been 6 years since Ringo's last album, and it will be released in January. It is a break from his past solo work, and the album Look Up will be a country album. It will be recorded in Los Angeles and Nashville.